You hooked up with Nathan yesterday.
It was late, I was drunk, and I was horny.
What was the period of time that elapsed until his penis was inside?
Maybe 45 to an hour.
And your body count is 3?
Nathan is going to be the guy in the red shirt from episode 54. He's now my husband. I got married, and now I'm not married, so yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Controvert podcast. My name is Panda, and I'm your host today. Today, we have a guest from the Whatever podcast. This girl, she actually got married from this podcast. She talked about it on one of our last videos. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure to check that out. But welcome back to the Controvert podcast. And now we have Aniya. Aniya, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I can't. Every time.
Come on, the camera's looking at you. Hurry up.
Hi, my name is...
What the hell is that? Hi. Hi.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Aniya. Yeah, I got married, and now I'm not married, so yeah.
Okay. I like how you just act like so nice, and you're just like so innocent.
I am really nice.
But then with the Whatever podcast, you're just like, you girls are not traditional, blah, blah, blah.
Because they weren't.
Or you're like, I'm traditional. I deserve everything.
Because that podcast is a scam. And it's literally to troll people.
So if anyone's confused what happened, basically she came on the podcast 2 times. I think Dating Talk number 54 and then Dating Talk number 60, right? Mm-hmm. And then one time she was acting super feminist. And then another time she was acting like super, was it traditional? Is that the word?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, whatever. Enough of my BS talk. So, Aniya, before we get started, do you have anything you want to say? Maybe like, thank you for having us. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, yes, of course.
Controvert podcast.
It's good to be back. Last time, it's great. Let's get it. Let's be controversial.
Did you feel like it was kind of like a hit piece on you last time?
No. I feel like a lot of the questions you wanted to ask, you couldn't, because the Whatever podcast was a scam.
Okay. Okay, well, whatever. We're just going to look into this video analysis on one of the things that you posted recently on your TikTok. To the guys who make a girl give up their whole lives and identity to please you because you swear you're different but end up being a POS. What is POS? Could you elaborate what POS means?
A piece of shit.
Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about your ex-husband here, right? Mm-hmm. So you're saying your ex-husband is a POS. Why? What happened?
Basically, majority of the time, I think our divorce led to a lot of disagreements, a lot of insecurities within himself, and just a cross of boundaries. And there was a lot that he did that was just not appropriate and not healthy whatsoever. I think he needs help.
Okay, so you think he needs help. But then like people who see the Whatever podcast, right? Or Controvert podcast. Such a good show. Such a good podcast, by the way.
Love
you
that
guys
podcast.
You
should subscribe.
Definitely subscribe. So anyone who sees like both of these podcasts, they would probably be like, yo, what is this girl talking about? She's just one of those girls that cries wolf.
I feel like majority of the time our issues led with having separate lives while being together. So in a sense of that, meaning like having social lives outside of our marriage. That, I would say, caused a lot of issues between us.
I mean, he was also in what, like the Marines? Mm-hmm. Navy? Marines, okay. So, I mean, if you're deployed like that for a really long period of time, that could also...
Well, he hasn't been deployed since we got married. He'll go to the field for a week or so, but he's never been gone like how he was after the Whatever podcast. Like, after the Whatever podcast, he was gone for 6 months in Australia. Ever since then, he hasn't been gone like that. And we moved in together.
Oh, so it was like once he moved in with you guys, with you, then that's when things kind of started falling apart even more.
Yeah, in the beginning it was good, and then eventually eventually I would go out because I made a group of friends, and it was like a co-ed group, guys and girls. We'd play volleyball. We would go to like salsa nights. He was not okay with it, but then two of his friends lived in our house, so he was out all the time too.
Okay. So I actually have another video analysis. This one was on really good podcast, by the way.
The whole point of being in a relationship is to one day hope to get married. Say that you only put 25% into this relationship. You guys have been dating for 4 years, and the whole time the highest you went up to was 50%. Now this person thinks that the only thing you're capable of is giving 50%. Do you think they really want to marry you if the only thing you've shown them is 50% of your effort? Because if I had someone who was with me and they were giving me 100% effort all the time as best as they could, of course I'd sit there and I'd be like, you know what, I've been dating this person for a while, I think I really do want to marry them.
Okay, so I mean, you said all this stuff, right? You said that you should give it your all, and that's probably what you did.
Yeah.
It's
been like that since I've been putting in 110% since I met him. And everybody knows how he was when I first met him, like when we went on that podcast.
Yeah.
It was very misogynistic, very, one-sided. And he did not like the way that I looked. He didn't like the way I dressed. He didn't like me having friends, nothing. I took out my piercings. I changed my hair color. I moved into his house. Like, I did everything for him.
You took off your piercings just for him?
Yeah, because
but then
he
when you
asked
came
me
on
to.
the podcast last time, this podcast, you had the piercings on, didn't you?
Yeah, because I set that in boundaries of like being like, hey, like they make me happy, like it's not anything wrong with them, and I put them back in.
Okay, so why I brought up this video actually is because you said that it's essential to give like your all, right? And remember my response here? I was kind of like, well, if you give it your all and then someone just ends up playing you or ends up becoming like a douchebag, right?
Yeah.
Then was it kind of like I was in a sense right with that? And then
no, because I feel like knowing that I put in my all and I did everything I could made it not hurt as much as it should have. Like, because leaving that and getting divorced and separating ourselves from each other, like I can sit here and say that I did everything I could to make him happy, and it's a lot better than like sitting here with regret thinking, hey, I could have done more or I should have done more,
or contemplation like, oh, if
I
did
did
more
this,
then
yeah.
Probably could have been better, right?
But no, I don't feel that way at all.
That's weird, because the heartbreaks that I felt the most strongly about was when I put like my 100% and that person didn't give anything back to me, or gave back very little, reciprocated very little. So I see it from a different point of view, but then yours is like, okay, now I can live to my fullest without like any regret. Mine is like, well, I gave all mine, all my hope, all my effort, only to just get this disappointment of a fucking shitty ass effort, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess I can see it from both. I just feel like for me personally, my experience was like I did everything I could, and I guess that's why it doesn't hurt as much, because there is no regret, there is no second guessing, there's no sitting here wondering what I could have done different or what I could have done better, because I did everything that he asked me to.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I kind of like in that last podcast that we did, right? I was kind of saying like, if you give your all and you just get played by a fuckboy, or in this case, it could be like someone who didn't really give it their all, then you can end up getting way more hurt. But in your case, you're saying, well, it's better to give it your all, because this way you could live your life and move forward with your life without having to look back.
I feel like the only thing that hurt me was like a big problem with us was he was not willing to change at all. Like he changed in a sense of like, okay, I'm not going to be misogynistic. I'm not going to say that I should fuck a bunch of girls while having a girlfriend. Like in that sense, sure. But when it came to being more open-minded by allowing me to be my own person and live my life to the extent of having those boundaries, obviously, he did not allow it whatsoever. He wanted to keep me in the house. He did not want me to go outside. He didn't want me to talk to anybody other than him. Like, he didn't want me to spend my time with anybody else except for him. And whether it was girls or guys. And him taking that away from me only made me resent him more, because it was like, I can't be around you all of the time 24/7.
You know, well, I'll say this, because like we're IG, what do you call that, like friends, we're following each other, what is it?
Sure.
Like, I don't know, I'm from like the Facebook
We're
era.
homies.
I don't know, I'm probably way old I probably look really old to you. I don't know. I
You
think
look
I'm
like you're in your mid-20s. I'm
mid-20s.
21.
I'm like older than you by probably, I think, 10 years, I think.
You're like 30?
Yeah.
Say swear.
I swear.
Say swear.
I swear, dude. You really thought I was like 25 or something?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Asian don't race, dude. Fucking
He
wild.
said the Asian genes are kicking
Shit.
in.
All right. Well, I was pretty much saying that, like, we follow each other, and then I see that you went out a lot when you're with your ex-husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he told you to stay at home, but you didn't stay at home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you should listen to him, but like, do you think maybe because you didn't listen to him, and you're saying that you gave like a bunch of effort, that probably could have hurt you guys, and you thought you actually put in a lot of effort?
I think
actually-
a big thing that can be very like controversial in a sense is I would never tell him that he could not go out. I would never tell him that he couldn't hang out with certain people. I never put any restrictions on how late he was out, where he went, who he went with, ever. Like, he had full free range to do anything and everything he wanted, as long as, you know, obviously he was being respectful, you know, as long as he was being responsible. Like, no drinking and driving, no being in a room alone with a girl. Like, if he didn't do those things, I didn't care what he did.
Yeah, like common sense
But
stuff.
when it came to me, it was like I allowed him to have all the freedom so that he could live his life regardless of whether we were married or not, so that he didn't feel trapped. And the only thing that I felt was trapped, because anytime I wanted to do anything at all, it was always a problem. And the biggest issue was the communication. Like, I would do something, like go hang out with my friends, and he wouldn't say anything. He'd be like, okay. And then later on, he would bring it up and he'd be like, well, that was a problem. I'm like, okay, why didn't you say anything when it was a problem? And he's like, well, because, you know, I didn't think you were going to do it again. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
if I didn't know it was wrong, or if I didn't know that it made you feel some type of way, why would I not go hang out with my friends?
And do you think it's because, okay, let's just talk a little bit about, can I say his name? Your ex-husband's name?
Yeah, everybody
Right.
knows.
Everyone knows. Okay. So his name is Nate. Okay. So Nate, he had kind of like a podcast where he runs like this, it's called Alpha's Only Club / the Brotherhood. Okay. So we had a guy called Logan that came on the podcast before, and then he ran this business with Logan. They were like best friends. And so what they were taught when they were like younger up until like now was like the red pill ideology. And so they would watch things. I don't know if they would always talk about Coach Corey Wayne. I don't know if he's like red pill per se.
It's very on and off. Certain things that he says are okay, cool, but other things that he says are like maybe not.
Okay. So I want to ask about this and talk about this is because this red pill ideology, do you think maybe that's what makes him feel like he needs to control you and go like, hey, you can't go out? Maybe more red pill guys think like this than
I
like...
think he was so used to being with Logan for so long that it turned him into he's not able to think for himself, to where he lashes out when he feels he doesn't have control over a situation. Like, him and Logan were friends for so long, and he was listening and following Logan for so long that to that point, that's the only person who he felt was like someone he could depend on and listen to and follow, because he believed that was the right way. So when it came to not being friends with him, he had to be on his own. He had to make decisions and think for his own. He didn't have someone else to run to and be like, hey, she's doing this, is this right? And so I feel like he just doesn't know how to be independent. He doesn't know how to think for himself and really believe what he's telling himself when it comes to certain decisions.
Sorry, I think you need to give some context for that. Probably like the viewers don't know what you're talking about. With they were friends and then they're not friends now.
Yeah, so they were friends for a really long time. They created, you know, as you said, the group or whatever together. Majority of the time, Nathan was just the face, right? Like, if you look at the videos, Nathan never really said anything. He was more just like gym and, you know, the body and the face. When it came down to relationship things, it was mostly Logan influencing him, like, hey, you should have a girlfriend and go and sleep with other girls, and that girl should be glad that you're coming back home to her at the end of the night. And that is basically like what Nathan followed for so long, being friends with him, that when it came to me, I was like, that's not okay. You can't do that. You know, be monogamous. I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So the problem I see with this is that like it's probably like this one guy who doesn't really have thoughts of his own, maybe, and I've invited Nate on the podcast. Okay. Even in the whatever podcast, you can see he doesn't really talk that much. So I could probably potentially see two adverbs in one phrase. That's kind of weird. But okay, I could potentially see that Nate, he sees all this like red pill ideology. He gets influenced so much to a point where he's confused. And I actually have friends like this where they actually think that one thing is okay, but then because men, especially red pill men, are telling them, hey, it should be this way, then they're a little bit conflicted. I'll give you an example. So we kind of sometimes talk about this like on our podcast about like if a girl was working at McDonald's, would you date her? And then Aniya's like laughing. And then a lot of people that come on this podcast, they go like, especially Asian men, they go like, no, I wouldn't date her. And I'd be like, why? And they'd be like, well, because right? And then some other people would go like, yeah, I would date her if she has a sweet, caring personality. I was like, okay, well, what if she has all this debt? And then, you know, your parents say that's not okay because, you know, Asian parents usually want like equal status.
Yeah.
So then they start considering it a little bit more. And then they're like, wait, hold up. I've been influenced and brainwashed a lot of my life because of these red pill ideologies that maybe, you know, these red pill things told me something that is conflicting with what I'm actually okay with. So that's why I see with these red pill guys is that they probably get so influenced. Like last time we talked about, right? I was like, there's a bunch of red pill dudes. They're like, yo, I don't want you working because you're my wife. I want you to be a trad wife and take care of our family. But this guy doesn't even make over 60K even. 60K isn't even a lot. Dude, that's how much I was making like right out of college. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I definitely think that he's just lost his way. I think that, yeah, like a lot of the times we had conversations where he sat there and he told me, he was like, I am okay with that. And then later on it'd be like a light switch. Like it would switch off and it'd be like, actually, I'm not okay with that. And that bothers me and I don't want you to do that. And then he'd go back later and be like, I'm trying to be okay with that. I'm trying to do this. And it would just be back and forth majority of the time. Like there was a situation where I went to TJ a couple months ago, maybe like 2 months ago.
Damn, TFTI.
With some friends from that group that I played volleyball with. And I remember coming home and I was like, hey, I got invited to TJ. I've never been. I talked to my parents about it. They were like, yeah, it's literally like 25 minutes away. Like, it's okay. And he was like, no. He just said no. I was like, it's only for 3 days. Like, it's girls and guys, you know. And he was like, no. And I was like, but that's not fair. Because if you wanted to go somewhere with your friends, I would want you to have that experience. I'd want you to live your life as long as you're being safe and responsible. And it's not like I'm going across the United States. It's 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
So he just kept fighting me. He was like, no, you can't go. And I went anyways.
Okay, I'm going to argue this for men. I'm not going to necessarily argue it for me. But men, especially the people in that community, like Logan and Nate, they're going to be watching this. Hi, everyone. But they're going to be watching this, and then they're going to be thinking, well, he can do that, but you can't do that because you're a woman. And women, especially traditional women, you consider yourself traditional?
No.
The hell? Long contemplation.
Okay, what's your definition of a traditional woman in 2024? Not because I'm tired of everyone talking about, oh, I want to be a traditional woman where I'm staying at home and I'm not working and my husband's doing this. Because obviously, like we stated, like in this economy, no man is making enough money around like my age to have a traditional woman. Like it's not the 1900s, it's 2024.
That's the definition to me. And I feel like a lot of these red pill dudes, they're talking about that too. They want a trad wife where they're just not working. They don't, especially Logan, he said that before. He's like, I don't want my women working. I want to just take care of my women.
But the reason they say that isn't even because, like, you know, she shouldn't have to work. It's literally because, oh, well, she would work for another man. Like, if she's going to work, she can work for me. She doesn't need to work for another man. Like, majority of companies are owned by men. That's their mindset behind that. It is not, well, you know, they should rest. They should have enough energy to take care of the house. And that's where it's wrong. So I would say my sense of a traditional woman would be like, okay, Like you're cooking your husband or your boyfriend, you know, lunch, breakfast, dinner, you know, you do the laundry, you know,
But
clean
why
the
is
house.
that wrong though? Because then the man would be working way harder than the women. So do you believe in gender equality then? Yes or no?
In this economy, yes. But do I want it to be that way? No. Like, I feel like if a man loves a woman, he will work as hard as he can to make sure she doesn't
What
have
about
to
the
do
women?
that.
Wouldn't she also do that too?
In the house.
In the house?
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, do you know, like for me, I'm so ambitious when it comes to working and, you know, getting certain licenses and going to school and stuff. But it's because I don't have a man in my life that I can depend on in a sense of like a relationship. Like I can depend on my dad, but I'm an adult now.
So if you had someone to depend on, then you would just depend on them or him and just like not work at all.
If that's what he wanted. If he held up to the criteria of what I needed him to be in a sense, to where I felt comfortable enough to be like, okay, I cannot make my own money. I can, you know, sit here and, you know, take care of everything you want at home. But if he's not making enough money and we're struggling over finances, I'm going to go to work. Because at the end of the day, I have to protect myself.
Yeah, but I see it like this. Like, if you're just staying at home or any woman stays at home, I feel like she has a very easy lifestyle because you're just, you know, doing work at home.
Do you know how hard it is to take care of your house?
How hard is it?
I live in that house by myself now.
Okay.
And it is so... I have a dog. We got 2 cats together. So I have a dog and 2 cats all by myself. I have to clean every day. You know, you got to do grocery shopping. There's laundry. Clean up after the cats, after the dogs, feed them
Why
cat
do you
litter.
need to clean every day?
Because I have pets.
Okay, well, that's pets, right?
Yeah.
So pets are... I feel like pets are much harder to take care of than like kids. Like,
I know
especially,
people
like,
swear they're
like a
not,
baby.
but they are.
Wait, really? I mean, they leave like fur and all that crap everywhere.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. I don't want a kid, but those pets kill me, dude.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm just... Do you do like the same cleaning tasks every day? Like, do you clean the toilet, like the same toilet like you piss in? Like every day? Like, does it have to be that squeaky clean? That's what I'm just thinking about.
Well, because I don't know. I just like it's the baseboards, the floors, mopping, sweeping. Like,
how big
you know,
is
the
this
counter.
house?
It's a 2-story, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom
You
house.
clean it every day, just for
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
Why? Why does it have to be that clean? Is it a hotel?
No, nobody comes there. It's just me.
What the hell? Like, okay, my family house, we don't even clean every day. We clean like every other week.
Well, because I feel like if you have a clean home like that, then it makes me feel a lot better about coming home. Because I hate being there. Like, it's super lonely, you know?
Okay.
So it's like, when I clean, I don't have to think about the fact that I'm there by myself.
Okay, let's break this down, though. I've always been so curious, and I got so much hate about this, because I posted this one TikTok. And then this one TikTok, I was like, if a girl, all she strives for is to be like a housewife, she's lazy. If that's her ambition and life goal, lazy. Let's break it down.
It's not my ambition.
Okay, that's...
We'll clear that.
I know. You just said that you're
we'll
like...
clear that.
ambitious, blah, blah, blah.
For the viewers, it is not my ambition.
Correct. But for the girls out there that are saying, oh, why is this guy saying this? He's a bigot. Okay, so what you do is you clean toilets, you clean the floors, and you don't need to do this every day. I don't know why you do it every day, which is weird, okay? So you clean the floor, clean the toilets, clean the stove, you clean the room, maybe like you like just
The countertops, the microwave, the ceiling fans, the
Correct.
dining room table.
But this is not... Okay, the kitchen you don't need to clean every day. It's like once a week thing.
But you cook in the kitchen a lot. Like, I cook like almost every day in the kitchen.
Okay, you could put a lid. Like, whenever you use the microwave, you put like a lid over it, and then it won't splatter
Asian
everywhere.
thing. I've only ever seen that in Asian households. I swear that's just an Asian thing.
No, hey, that shit. Okay, I was like, yo, mom, what are you doing? This is whack. And then one day, it just splattered everywhere. And I was like, oh shoot. And my mom was like, yo, put on that cap. And I was like, all right, fine. And it didn't splatter.
That is
an
Asian thing. I've only ever seen that. Just like how you guys put your dishes in the oven as storage. That's so weird. I would never do that.
All right. Well, so like, Washing dishes too. That's a daily thing. Washing
Yeah.
dishes. Okay. What else is a daily thing? Not doing the laundry.
Laundry is a daily
Laundry's
thing.
like a weekly thing.
What the hell?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but like different days you wash different
I
things.
rewear
right?
my underwear.
You're nasty.
Like every week.
You're nasty.
Every 3 days I switch my underwear. Okay.
You wear them inside out too.
BS aside, yeah, I do. BS aside. Okay, so there's the microwave, the stove, the countertops, the carpets.
The hardwood floor, the bathrooms.
Yeah. Okay, like a lot of these things are just like weekly things. The daily things I only see is like dishes and cooking food.
So the kitchen. What about making
Okay,
your bed?
Hold up. Do you pay a contractor to fix like the water pipe? Like, do you have like a plumber come through and go like, "Hey, you're looking kind of sexy."
Ew, you're nasty.
Okay, so you're telling me you do all the plumbing yourself?
No, we have a 24-hour maintenance.
Okay.
So I just called a maintenance guy to fix it.
That's not maintaining the house then. I'm sorry.
Plumbing?
Yeah,
What the hell do I look like?
Garden? Do you do gardening?
Do I look like Bob the Builder to you?
See, that's the thing. So the guy has to come back home and he still has to fix the pipes?
That's his job. What the hell?
And the only thing is, you fix his pipes?
No,
What's
shut up. You're nasty. Okay, listen. When it comes to like now, if there is something that is like broken or something, like
Yeah.
the washer and dryer, I had to
Okay.
fix the wiring the other day all by myself.
So you know how to solder.
How what?
You know how to solder?
What does that mean? Like,
Bro, you're tripping,
what does that mean? Like I had to fix the metal, you know, the vent pipe thing.
God, I gotta calm down a little bit. Okay. I'm getting a little bit excited. All right. So, I'm asking these questions because my dad, he works like 3 jobs. He comes back home. He does like the plumbing, the HVAC. Do you know what HVAC is? Mm-hmm. Okay, he does HVAC. He does like pool maintenance, pool fixing, anything
a
with like
pool?
carpentry, like fixing. Unless it's like big, then he's gonna obviously get like one of those handyman. Handyman? Yeah.
Yeah, my AC was out the other day. I had to call the maintenance guy to come look at it.
Okay, for the most part, my dad does all of that.
Oh.
So a lot of these people that, fuck, I should probably pull up that video. But that TikTok, I said that, you know, my mom, she actually cooks and cleans and she works. And then they were like commenting a bunch of crap. They were like, oh, you know what? This guy's dad is just lazy. He doesn't do anything. And I'm like, yo.
I feel like it should be that way though.
The guy, my dad, he just comes home and he does the handiwork, and my mom does the cooking and cleaning.
But handiwork isn't an everyday thing.
It isn't.
But cooking and cleaning is an everyday thing.
Okay, cooking and cleaning. I'm sorry to say, but you don't have to use your brain for that. It's like mindless. It's autopilot.
Do you know how many
mode.
men don't know how to cook?
Okay. You could cook like easy stuff,
Like what?
like meal prep stuff, simple.
Plain chicken and rice?
I'm sure any guy, unless he's like super like low tier guy, which is someone that many girls would not want to date or consider. So let's just not even wrap that in like
Okay.
the umbrella. But most guys know how to meal prep, like steak or chicken. All right.
Okay.
So assuming that, like, these things are so autopilot, you know, all you do, boil the water, dump the chicken in, cut it.
Ew,
done.
you're boiling chicken?
Yo, I boil a chicken.
You're nasty.
I actually like it better like that.
You don't like grilled?
No.
You
wanna grill it for
weirdo.
me?
No. No.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think like you don't have to be like an expert chef, but like what you're talking about is like a girl has to be an expert chef. I think that's, you know, that's not really necessary.
I guess.
All right. Anyway.
Point being though, I think that traditional like women, I don't like any of those terms. I don't think that that's a real thing nowadays. I think that you have 2 people in the economy who have to work because everything is so expensive, and it's not normal for the average person in an average relationship to make $100K a year to provide for someone else.
I agree.
I think that you both have to work. I think you both help out at the home together, and you each have your own roles, right? So like if I wash the laundry, you can fold it and put it away. If I cook dinner, you can wash the dishes after.
Agreed.
Like that's what me and him would do. Like if
That's
I did
how
dinner,
most relationships are.
yeah. So there's no such thing as traditional. I don't know why people keep saying things like that. It's not a real thing. And anybody can come at me for it, but I don't think it's a real thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just living in this fairy tale land where they're just like, oh, I want the girl to just like stay at home and work. But dude, like, yeah, what I said, you don't make past 6 figures, and even if you make 100K, it's still not enough, especially in California.
It's
LA.
social media. It's what it is. Brain rot, they call it.
People don't know how to do math. But on the flip side, women also, okay, so men, these red pill guys are not knowing how to do math.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, women, some of these women who are super feminist and just want the guy to just work for him and just do all the like bread making, they're also not doing math too, because they're not factoring in it's hard. And the average guy who's like fit, looks good, that makes above 200K, I would say 200K, that's probably enough to support a household in California, LA.
Yeah.
Like a single person salary.
Yeah.
To support a family. It's still cutting it close. It's still like a little bit tough. You still have to live a little bit sheep for that. But yeah. Okay, anyways. On to our next video. I know we talked a lot about like just these red pill guys, but then let's switch gears to now.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I just need 1 minute to make sure I look good. Do you think I look good, Mr. Armstrong?
Stop it.
What the hell? Okay, so we see that one, okay? I think you posted this. Was this when you're with Nate?
Mm-mm.
No? Your ex-husband? No?
No.
You posted a couple like this.
That was last month. No.
Okay, fine. You posted a couple like this when you're with him, right?
No. Those are all from...
How come you...
There's ones that are worse than that. That shirt is like a button shirt.
Okay. Alright, hold up. So... Okay, so you mentioned all this stuff about like you put in a lot of effort for Nate, but then you posted things like this. I mean, this was not when you're together.
If you can show me one that I made while we were together that was like this.
Yeah, I know one.
Which one? He's like,
Was you
I was
rolling?
waiting for this.
This one. You don't think this one is a thirst trap?
No, the other one you were talking about my chest being out. My chest isn't out on there. It's just my face. My face is a thirst trap.
No. When you went like this,
You're stupid. I didn't do that.
like a licky lickies.
No.
You did a couple like sucky
Look, see,
$5
little Apollo.
looks. I don't know. And then there's some guys who were like commenting.
That's my brother.
Oh, it was your brother. All right. Okay, let's just go
I don't know
through.
if your brain is all scrambled. From
Okay,
like
this
all
one.
the
This
Molly
one.
you take,
This one's the
but I never
epitome.
said that. You spread a lie like that, I will fucking come for you. We
Oh my
good?
god, I remember when you made that stupid comment about that video.
This one.
It's not a thirst trap.
This is not a thirst trap. Okay. Okay, so I'm very open, right, of a guy.
Okay,
Okay.
go back. I'll show you what a thirst trap is. I just recently posted one.
Okay, fine.
Go back up.
But let's just be clear. All of these right
no,
here.
they're not.
These were when you were still with Nate, your ex-husband.
But that was before we got. I think it was right before or right after.
Quick
we got
question.
married.
Quick question. So because we're on this topic, right? I'll show the other ones that you want to show later. But don't you think because you posted this like when you were with him, it probably contributed to his resentment? Because
No.
you said you had resentment. But
Well,
we
no, he
also have to
deleted
look at it
TikTok.
from a guy's point of view. Right? No?
I think that's stupid.
What's...
I think it's stupid because
Why?
Nathan would literally post pictures of him in his underwear online
That's
for
diff-
thousands of people to see.
That's different though. That's a,
I'm not
that's a
even
guy.
naked in there. I'm wearing clothes. You can't even see anything except for my face.
On average, girls get like 20 likes a day. It's something like that. At least 20 likes a day on like these dating apps. But for guys, we don't get shit.
Probably because the things
So-
you put in your dating apps are like retarded.
No. I'm not me. I'm talking about like a lot of good-looking guys, like model status dudes. Even they don't get that many likes.
I've seen majority of guys on dating apps and the things that they put in their like what is it called? There's like prompts, right? Like on
Yeah.
Hinge there's prompts. The things they put in their prompts are so like when me and Nathan met on Hinge before we went on the podcast.
Okay.
And even like most of his stuff was like, I fuck Asian bitches or I only love Asian girls. And you really think I was gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, of course,
You
of course.
swiped right on him though.
Because she was Asian. And because of the Beamer.
You just contradicted yourself. You're like, you think I'm gonna swipe right, and then you did swipe right.
Well, because that's the thing is I did, but then he texted me and asked me to hang out, and I didn't hang out because of what was said. Like,
okay, but then eventually you guys still hung out. So
because we were on the same podcast, but that wasn't planned.
okay, but you guys hooked up before that. You guys hooked up like the day before the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're capping. All right, anyways.
How
what,
am I? What?
what I'm trying to say is that like he probably had resentment because of this, and he
I
probably
guess.
just didn't say anything.
I guess because he even admits like he's really insecure. Like he has no security within himself.
So don't you think, as the dutiful wife, that's your duty to give him security? And
But
be
I
like,
did
"All
that
right,
for a year. I did
Nate,
that for a year, and it
let
got
me
me nowhere.
post you on my TikTok, like me kissing you and doing these stupid TikTok dances that everyone does instead of like licking my lips because they're chapped."
My lips are never chapped.
So how come you didn't just do that? Like, how come you didn't do these dumb TikTok dances that couples do?
Because he never wanted to.
So you asked him?
Yeah, we never took pictures together or anything. He never took me out. Like we never did anything. Like.
Okay. Here's the thing. I saw his Facebook. His Facebook had you and him in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think your Facebook didn't have you and him in it.
No,
right?
it did.
It did?
I had our picture from the Marine Ball.
Okay.
And the
I
last
look
name
like a
was on
dumbass
there.
now. Okay. All right. Okay.
He didn't take mine. I took his. Exactly. So.
All right. You got me there. All right then. Well, I'm just saying, like, with this, if you actually put in like all of your effort, like, what's the point of posting like this though? You know, what does it give you?
Because I look good.
You look good.
I do.
But do you have to do those licking like your, you know, like
Stop
why?
doing that.
Why? I just don't understand that.
It's a part of the aesthetic. And I have a tongue piercing.
Yes, a lot of guys think that's hot. And then
I
they'll be like,
guess, but
"Dude,"
I didn't get it for
and then
them.
They would be thinking about that.
That's their own personal
There's a lot of
prerogative.
psycho guys out there just imagining weird shit.
Do you know what I think about that? I think that what I do and what I say and how it affects other people has nothing to do with me.
Okay, so why don't you just go shirtless then? And just make
Because
like
I would
OnlyFans?
not do that.
You just said that. You
Because
just
I'm
said,
not comfortable
whatever I
with that.
do, then it shouldn't affect anyone.
Yeah, but what I want to do, I don't want to do that.
Okay. But what you want to do, if it affects your husband, wouldn't you want to hold back and restrain yourself from
Yeah,
doing that?
but he never said that any of that bothered him.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, though, is if he came to me and he was like, hey, I don't like what you post on your TikTok, that'd be completely different. But never once did he say that. Because the counteract with that is he posts things that are way more promiscuous than I did. So if you're going to come to me about a problem you have about what I'm doing, but you're doing something the same way, but worse, you have no room to talk.
But
Man or woman.
you mentioned before that he's not really good with words, and he doesn't really express like what he actually feels. So he might make it look like he's okay with it, but he probably just internalized it and never said anything. And that's what added on to his resentment. And probably with this whole thing with like Logan, his best friend, he's not friends with him anymore. That probably added on to it too. I don't know if he ever talked about that and how it affected him. But a lot of men, they just internalize things and they don't say anything because whatever they use could just be used against them. So that's why I say all these things and point out all of these, because maybe you might not understand that he was affected by this. Maybe he wasn't. Let's just assume he wasn't, okay? But a lot of men out there, they would internalize it and they wouldn't say anything. I'm not saying that that's your guys' case, but why I'm talking about this is because there's a lot of men out there that are hurting and they feel like they can't really talk about this to their women because they would just get criticized. You know?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right.
I mean, if anything, I would have rather him be honest. But I think it's not about, I think I'm really big on it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. Like, if you came to me and you were like, I don't fucking like that shit, like, take it down, I'd be like, whoa, like, why are you, like, no, like, what? But if you came to me and you're like, hey, like, this makes me really uncomfortable, like, I don't really understand, like, I look at these comments and there's these guys in here, like, it doesn't make me feel secure, that's completely different than coming at me and being like, hey, I don't like that, like, you need to take it down.
Yeah.
Like, it's about how you say things.
Well, I know a lot of guys who have said that before in a nice way. Hey, like, I don't like how this is. The girl still doesn't do anything. She's like, well, I'm just going to do this. So that's why some guys, they feel like they need to just be a little bit more crude about it and aggressive, because they've had situations where the girl did not listen. That's why they're just like a dick about it.
But when you say, like, did not listen, what does that mean?
She's like rebellious. She's like, no, I'm not going to take it down. It's kind of like your attitude, but with other men. You're like, I don't care what other men think about how I post.
Because I am a woman in a world where men only think about one thing majority of the time when they talk to me. And I can't
Correct.
live my life, like, assuming that they have good intentions or whatever. Like, I know majority of men have bad intentions. A majority of men just want to fuck.
Yeah.
But there's nothing I can do about that.
So you posting this stuff, that adds on to
But if
the
you looked at
argument.
majority of my comments on there, none
Yeah.
of them are thirsty men. It's either my brother, my aunt, or, like, people that I know. So
Okay.
that's why it's invalid.
Let's just say that you had a couple of these videos that blew up, 20K views, and then they're like heart eyes while you're with Nate. Would that make you feel uncomfortable? Or you're like, okay, whatever. Other guys are jacking off to me when I'm like licking my lips. That's okay. Serious. Like, how would you feel about that? You have a husband and the other guys are jacking off to you just because you're
How
licking.
am I supposed to know that?
You know that because what you said, a bunch of guys are on this earth that only have one intention, and you don't know what their intention is. So with that, behind a screen, they could just be like, you know?
Yeah, I suppose. I think, like I said last time, every relationship is different. And everybody has different boundaries. Like, for me, the only reason I started having a problem with what he was posting was because he was upset that I had posted a picture on my Instagram with guys and girls, and it was like a co-ed, like, volleyball group picture. And he unfollowed me on Instagram because of it. It wasn't like
remember
any
that.
specific guy touching me or anything like that. It was a group photo.
Mm.
And that is things that bothered him. But he never said anything. He didn't even say anything about it. He unfollowed me on Instagram. And I was like, why did you unfollow me? And he's like, because I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a mature guy. Okay, he could have handled it better. I'm just saying there's some things that girls do that they're not aware of that could probably affect a guy. I can kind of see why he probably got upset, but I personally wouldn't get upset. If, you know, my girlfriend hung out with a group of guys and girls, whatever. Hung out with like a group of guys and they're all like homies, whatever. But, you know, like, the thing is, if he doesn't know, what the hell am I trying to say? Sorry, I just blanked out. It was a fucking tiring day. Okay, so the thing is, if he has these thoughts and then he just like doesn't really voice it to you,
How am I supposed to know?
yeah, you know, he's immature, but then there's some other things that could probably bother him, like this, like these videos, and like, for example, like you going out, like,
Well, that's the thing is, I wasn't going out and partying and clubbing and freaking stripping or nothing. I was playing
Yeah.
volleyball.
the thing is with like these red pill dudes, I'm not saying I am one, but what they would, what the hell is that? Looking at me like that, what the hell? So, okay, wait, you think I'm red pill?
I think to an extent.
You think to an extent I'm red pill? Okay, fine. Okay,
Because you're
whatever.
telling me that these videos, I shouldn't be posting them because I had a husband.
Okay, like, it's kind of like this. I would not be okay you posting things like this, but I'd be okay with you going out to hang out, like play volleyball with like guys and girls, or even guy friends that are your
That's why I
bros.
said to an extent.
So that's considered red pill? Isn't that just like normal?
No, because
So I should be okay with you just like going naked.
if my mom did posted something like that, right?
Yeah.
My dad would be like, okay. Because he's very secure within their marriage and he's secure within my mom. And they have a very healthy relationship to the point to where like if she posted anything close to what I posted on here, it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay. Let me ask you one question first. If you posted naked photos and then you told me that.
See, but you're taking it out. You're blowing it out of proportion. Because
Okay,
I'm
so
not naked.
that's exaggerated, right? We can agree that's exaggerated. Okay. So let's switch gears. Okay, so talking about this.
Like if I posted a bathing suit.
If you posted in a bathing suit, but then your ass, like what we talked about last time, your ass is just like this, like what girls do all the time. They're just like working. Like, do it again for the camera. If you do that,
then that's a problem.
No, that's a problem. We
but
can
see,
agree on
I
that,
don't
right?
do that.
you don't do that, but then you do this.
That's not the
And
same
then-
thing.
It's
It is not
it's
the
kinda
same thing.
It's kind of the same thing.
No,
Like, you're
it's
licking your-
not.
It's giving
I
you an
can lick my
imagery,
lips.
personification
No.
of, you having like a cucumber in between your mouth
I'm not
to
doing
these
that
thirsty
though.
guys.
Nothing about that is inquiring
Yes,
that I'm gonna
you have okay,
or something.
You have
like
an
that.
innocent intent. I get it.
Yeah.
But then you understand that you being a woman on this earth, there's gonna be guys with malicious intent. You know that. You just said
But
that.
that's no matter what. I could post a TikTok of my dog and people would still be like, "Hey girl."
No
You know,
way.
like-
You're capping, dude. No
Like,
way, you're
what?
capping. You're capping. No way.
Dude, I could go outside looking like absolute shit and dudes will still be like, "Hey girl, what's up?" Like I'm like, it doesn't matter. I could be dressed like shit, I could be dressed the best, and it'll all be the same reaction.
Okay, I get it. But then there's a certain extent, like what you've said.
I think there's a boundary, and there's a certain boundary that I will personally never cross. Like I'm not, like during our whole time being married, I never posted a picture of me in a bikini or
Okay.
Fact. Like naked or fucking like anything like that, because
Okay,
those
true.
are not appropriate. And even
True.
the pictures that I did have like at the beach and stuff, I took them off my Instagram. Like, so that's what I'm saying. There's a certain boundary that I will not cross, and that is posting with guys alone in a sense, or posting pictures where I'm half naked. Like I would not do that.
Okay. So you said that you would not cross that line when you're in a marriage or as a girlfriend, whatever, right? So are you now affirming that you would cross that line now?
I don't think so, because
You don't
I'm
think-
insecure. So I would not post a picture like that.
Okay. All right. Let's get to your TikTok again. Okay. Let's look at this fourth one.
Reason number 46 why you should let me ride. Reason number 46 why you should let me ride.
Bro, I have nothing to say. You just spat all of that BS, and then you just admitted this is a thirst trap. Okay, is this a thirst trap? Yes or no?
Yes and no, because I'm not naked, but I'm wearing a long dress, and my tongue is not out of my mouth.
My God, someone save me. from
After
this
we leave here, I'm
podcast.
taking that video off my TikTok.
Someone save me from this podcast. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Well, I think we probably can't come to a conclusion for this, but what we can conclude and agree on is that this is a thirst trap. Okay. So if you had a boyfriend,
If I had a boyfriend, I wouldn't post that.
you wouldn't post this.
Yeah.
You would delete that.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I'd probably
Noted.
delete everything on my TikTok if I had a boyfriend.
You would probably delete everything.
Yeah, because
Well-
I feel like a lot of the issues that me and Nate had were social media problems.
You just said it. It wasn't social media. Like you never.
Social media is in a, like I said, like with the Instagram picture.
Yeah.
Like he literally went out of his way to text my friends in that picture and tell them that he was going to hurt them just because they were in a picture with me. Not because they were doing anything wrong, but because they were in the same picture as me. And he didn't do that to any of the girls that were in the picture. He only did it to the guys. And
That's
some of
pretty
those guys
savage.
were married. Some of those guys had girlfriends, like, and he literally harassed them.
Can we get a fact check? Can someone that is Aniya's friend that got this message, can someone like leave a comment? Are you gonna send this to your friends? Can you tell them? to leave a
I'll
comment?
tell my friends. Yeah, they literally texted me about it, and they're like, "Who's Nathan?" I was like, "My husband." And they're like, "He sent me. Why did he say he was gonna hurt me?" I was like, "Oh my."
Well,
God."
question. How did your friends not know who Nathan is?
They didn't know it was his Instagram. Because during that time, while we were going through that downfall, he took me off his highlights. So they didn't know Like, that was his Instagram.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think I have nothing more to say with this one. I think, we can't conclude. We can't come to a conclusion. What is a thirst? Dude, are you still eating more of that candy?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Where'd you get these from? An Asian store?
Can you show it to the camera?
These ones.
There's like a melon flavor.
God, it's so good.
Wait, how many have you eaten so far?
2.
2? This is your third one? Yeah. What the hell? Is
I
that
have to
good?
take some of these home.
Oh my god.
These are really good. I think I had these at a nail salon one time.
Yeah, I think it's becoming popular. But
Where'd you get these from?
someone just like
H-Mart?
donated it to our family or something. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways.
Okay.
Anyways.
Drugs in them or something?
Yeah, you wish. Damn, what the hell? Guys with malicious intent, eh? Alright, well anyways, do you have anything else you want to talk about with like the divorce? Maybe like any message you want to send to like the younger heads, people your age? You're what, 21 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to send like a message maybe to let them know how it is to get married at such an early age through like a podcast?
I would say definitely live your life. Don't think that marriage is like this big thing that, is an end all be all. I think that a lot of misconception with getting married is that your life is over, that you can't go out and you can't live and you can't, obviously within those boundaries of being respectful and responsible, but you're allowed to have friends, you're allowed to, go out, you're allowed to make new friends. Marriage doesn't stop that, nor should it ever. You are not tied down to that person, for the rest of your life just because of, what the hell was I trying to say? Just like I said, continue living your life.
Don't get married too fast, right?
Yeah, take your time with it. We definitely sped into it. We were only together for a year before we got married, like a year and like 2 months.
Yeah.
Get experience, live your life, find someone who you guys have the same views and such, because I feel like a big problem was we did not see eye to eye on the same thing. And you both have to be very open-minded about the fact that sometimes there are going to be things you don't like and there's going to be things he doesn't like, and you have to learn to work through those things.
And I feel like a lot of people, they affiliate getting married early as a good thing, but it's actually probably not, especially with how complicated and complex our society is getting, and how controversial it is too. Like one side is like feminist, one side is like masculine red pill dudes, like what we talked about, and then there's like the equal. Like obviously I'm equal, I'm fucking balanced as hell.
I'm neutral. I don't believe in feminism, and I don't believe in misogyny.
Okay, well I was making a joke. You just kind of killed it. But anyways,
oh my god.
I obviously I'm a pretty equal guy, so anyways.
Okay.
So Controvert, we're equal podcasts. No red pill, no blue pill, just a purple pill.
You're stupid.
But
I hate
anyway,
the color purple.
Dude, I fucking love it. I love acai bowls.
Acai?
Yeah. Acai, yeah. Whatever. I think acai sounds weird.
It's literally acai.
I know. It is. It's so weird. It just sounds weird. I just can't say that. Acai. So much effort. Anyways.
Regardless, point being, don't get married too young. Live your life. Go to college. Get a job. Get a career. Stop focusing on, social media telling you that you need to be traditional, or that, men need to have full control in a relationship. Like, get it together and be who you are, and make sure you're with someone that loves you for who you are. Communicate.
Final question. Did you guys get married at an early age because of like the pressure of probably
I feel like
I want to look good in front of everyone?
I feel like there was a lot of pressure, yeah, but I also feel like it was kind of time crunch as well. Like my family was leaving back to Texas, which means I would have had to move. He needed to move out of his house too, and we were trying to find a way to stay together, and there's a lot of outside things that had to do with why we got married.
Okay. You know, it's kind of crazy because I thought you guys were just gonna stick. I thought you guys were like set for life. Seeing how much he sacrificed and seeing how much you did too. You guys sacrificed a lot, and he went from like a super red pill dude. You went from like a pretty feminist girl. I don't know. I mean, you said
Nobody knows.
you said you're balanced, but I don't know. I mean, you're so feminist on the first part. I have no idea.
I
But
feel like if I were to say the way that I am and the way that I view relationships, like actually, people would be really upset.
okay, so then you're a feminist.
I'm not a feminist. I think women are retarded, and I think men are retarded too. I think that there is no such thing as like, I want to be an independent woman and I hate men, because at the end of the day, men are always going to go back to women and women are always going to go back to men. And when it comes to men saying that they need full power and control over like a relationship, maybe you should be focusing more on having some more power and control over your career.
Damn.
Because most of these men that say these things have no ambition,
It's
have
actually
no
facts.
job, have no career, like they have nothing going for them except for some measly like what McDonald's job, like what you're working, you know, like at a factory or something. Like, no, you need a career. Same thing with
Damn.
women. Like they go around, but at the end of the day, like they don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't know how to, you know, actually be respectful within themselves. You know, they're going around thinking that life is easy because they're doing OnlyFans, and they think that men should give them the world when they themselves are like actually really shitty people and super shallow. And like most of them are so obsessed with drama, and some of them are so obsessed within themselves that they just expect everything from a man. Like you deserve none of that.
Damn.
Like
Damn, that's crude.
like even
Okay.
me, like I don't deserve
I like that.
like I don't deserve everything.
I respect and I agree with that actually.
You know.
It's a really good. That was a really good narrative. But I actually thought of one final question. It's like a more chill one. So now that you've divorced, have you been talking to other guys?
No.
No.
We are legally separated. So the divorce is not finalized. But I'm trying to, you know, figure myself out. Figure out, you know, what I'm doing.
You haven't talked to any guys?
No, I've just been working.
Are you interested in any guys?
I've just been working.
Oh shit.
And I don't
So
think
her DMs
I don't
are not
think
open.
that
Sorry,
legally
guys.
we're allowed to do that.
Yeah. That's true. But you know, people still do that shit when they're
I'm
divorced.
like,
Not
what? Who's gonna want to talk
quote
to
unquote
me?
divorced. Separated.
No. And I hope that he isn't either, because I think I will admit there's things that we both have to work on. I think that like obviously I have things that I need to work on. He does too when it comes to being in a relationship. Because before him, like I was in a 4-year relationship. So I
the
haven't
fat dude?
had.
Was it the fat dude? That kind of
Yes. Wait, what?
smelled? The Hispanic kind of fat dude? He kind of smelled? No? Was it? The nerdy guy?
What nerdy guy?
The one I asked you, like, does he watch, like, hentai?
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Dude. You were with this,
I was
like,
with a
ugly
guy, a Mexican guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, he
with
wasn't
curly
good
hair.
looking.
He was okay. I was with him for 4 years.
The fuck? Dude, you're capping, bro. Now you're saying he's okay.
I'll have to show you a picture. Did I show you a picture last time?
Can we put it on the screen?
Can you?
Actually, no. No
No,
private
wait,
stuff.
actually, no,
No
you
private
can't.
stuff.
I was like, wait a second, no.
We actually had a privacy claim, like, just like the other day. It's wild. I was just like, wow, okay.
I was like, wait, I forgot about that.
Gonna blur the faces now. But all right, anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here on the Controvert podcast. Thank you, Aniya, for coming, and we're going to have actually more videos coming out with the same session, so make sure to stay tuned for that. We're gonna be filming back to back right now, and we will see you guys next time on the Controvert podcast. Make sure like, subscribe, leave a comment below if you think she's capping. Leave a comment below if you think her marriage could have been better if she got put in more effort, or if her ex-husband could have done a better job at understanding. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.